Internet, friends, foes, probably not family because my family doesn't watching this crap. But hey, everyone, how are y'all doing tonight? I am Taylor. Welcome to my channel, and this is the world's greatest YouTube comic book mystery box unboxing show, aka Unboxing Match. As far as I know, it's the only YouTube comic book mystery box unboxing show. So if there's other ones out there, don't let me know. Don't burst my bubble, people. Let me think I have the greatest, because that's all I've got in life. Otherwise, I lead a sad, lonely life. I live below the AC unit, so that's all I have. Anyways, tonight's guest, long time coming, Chris the comic vet, the friend from up north. I mean, it's fine that he's on the show finally. It's all right. But we're gonna bring him on the show, introduce him. We'll get into this, and we'll see how it all goes. What's up, man? How you doing tonight?
It's fine.
It's totally fine.
It's all fine. It's fine. I got to do my gimmick. All right.
Yes, the gimmick. I don't do this. I mean, it's too militaristic for me. I'm a peace-loving, dirty hippie.
Yeah, but it's a part of literally. It's like right there, vet.
Yeah,
I know. It's all right. All right.
Yeah,
no, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm not bad, man. I'm dead. Tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself. If there's anybody watching, there's three. So it's Lucretius who already knows everybody. And
all right. Like you said, my name is Chris. My handle is the comic vet. I am North. I reside in Canada. So in case you've never seen the two of us together before, I say I'm Canadian, and he's always like no one knows that. And if there's anything that comes across in pulp culture that we're talking about, I will spotlight the Canadian connection, and he'll be like we didn't know that. Even though he might be like, I didn't know that, he'll always say like we didn't know that. But I've been into comic books basically since I was about 7 or 8 years old. I was introduced to it by my family. Both my mother and my father warmed into it. It wasn't something that wasn't controversial from a parental aspect for them. And the cool thing about it is that my dad, when he was my age at that time, he was a comic book reader as well. My dad was into more of the American Westerns. He was into historical comic books. So he enjoyed, the Treasure Island adaptation comic books, or Don Quixote, or anything anything to do with the American West and historical moments in the United States. My father was all about that. He really, really enjoyed those comic books. And it's true, Biggie, we are. And it just it developed with that, where my love of comic books kind of graduated from the kiddie Richie Rich Archie type of comic book when I was 8 or 9, and eventually went into superhero stuff. And I really fell in love with reading The Amazing Spider-Man and Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man and Web of Spider-Man, the trifecta that Marvel was pumping out at the time. And thank you. And
so what era was that? What era was that when you first like
those books I was reading? I was into those books probably 83, 84. So I would have been 8 or 9 at that point. And my parents were still picking up the books for me off the spinner rack at the grocery store or the little convenience store that was around the corner. And my mom would pick up those Archie digest books, but my dad would pick up the more interesting Spider-Man books. Or when he had his way, it was generally the Superman stuff, because my dad actually was really into the Christopher Reeve era of filmmaking that Superman was doing. I mean,
it was a great movie, not a great era for Superman comics, but whatever.
Right. It was tough. So I because I was reading, I was watching so much of that classic 60s Spider-Man cartoons on repeat. And then Saturday morning Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends with Firestar and Iceman.
Oh, hell yeah.
I had that little bit of a background knowledge of Spider-Man. So I quickly realized that, so I was really small when I went to every grade I was in. I was always the smallest kid and picked on and that kind of thing. So I kind of related to Peter Parker that way with some of the stories that were being told. And then it blossomed from there, because Secret Wars happened and Secret Wars 2 happened.
Oh yeah.
And I discovered the Fantastic Four, and John Byrne was at the helm at that point, and Ben Grimm had just lost his girlfriend to to Johnny Storm, and then decided to leave the group, and She-Hulk came in, and that was so exciting, as to a 12 and 13-year-old at that
Oh
point
yeah,
when this stuff was happening. Like,
you
oh
gotta
my
look at
God,
the big
there's
green boobies.
there's there's all this trauma and all these
Yeah.
like all this heartbreak and yeah, it just, and then I discovered Wolverine, and it grew from there, and I start to appreciate the anti-hero, and the badass that's doing the good thing. And then I got some back issues on Claremont and Frank Miller's Wolverine first miniseries,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah, and really enjoyed that. And then DC showed up in my world with the Killing Joke, and that changed everything. That opened up my eyes to serious writing. And then I went back and I discovered his Swamp Thing run, and that's Alan Moore's Swamp Thing run. And that point to me is some of the best comic book writing that's ever been done. That and Frank Miller's Daredevil, The Death of Elektra saga. That was all really good stuff. And then the 90s happened, and then
we don't need to talk about the 90s.
Right. Todd and the boys left.
Yeah.
And after that, I had to slowly start going to work. And like almost everyone else that was in the comic books as a teenager, you leave the hobby. And but I always paid attention to it. Every so often I would pick up a trade paperback and stuff, and keep up with it that way, and pay attention to all the movies that were coming out. The Fantastic Four came out, and Blade was out, and all these characters that I had a little bit of knowledge about. And then the X-Men movies happened, and then I became a dad myself, and then I was really far away from comic books. And and then basically around 2008 2009, my dad passed away. And I ended up finding a while after that one of his books, and then a handful of his books. And that actually really drew me back in. And it made me realize that my dad and I had some difficulties at certain parts of our lives, but in the end we became friends. And one of the things that we always talked about near the end of his life are some of the things that we had in common. And one that we always talked about is, because we actually grew up in two different cultures, the one thing that we did share was our love of reading, and particularly our love of reading comic books. And after I realized that, I started getting back into it slowly. And then I started once in a while going to New Comic Book Day. I can remember when Ultimate Spider-Man died, and that world's Peter Parker died. And that is the point when I started paying more attention to what was going on. And then I start to realize, oh, that Peter Parker that's died, that's not 616.
Sure.
And okay. And then I started getting back into it. And I realized that even at that point, ASM wasn't that good with Dan Slott at the helm. And and it just
ASM's had a brutal run for a while.
There's been a few moments. And but yeah, like I get that each writer wants to throw their kitchen sink at Peter Parker and trying to make it seem like what he's going through is the worst thing he's ever gone through, the worst thing that a writer's ever done to him. But my God, give the kid a break. Give the kid a break. Just have an issue where he goes out for coffee with MJ and had the place get robbed and him take down the robbers. Anyway.
Well, he's not with MJ anymore. So
I know. See, but yeah, and but yeah, that's about it. My son in his teen years, my son's now in his early to mid 20s. He enjoyed Deadpool, and so he enjoyed Cullen Bunn's Deadpool, and all that kind of stuff. And
another anti-hero.
But he took a little bit of pride in the fact that Deadpool is a Canadian, and he enjoyed the smart mouth stuff. And
Deadpool's Canadian? I've never heard that before.
Right. And that's right up my son's alley. My son has a very dry sense of humor, and so he appreciated Deadpool. But at this point now, I think he's far away from comic books. So, but I'm sure at some point when he has a little bit more of a disposable income, maybe he'll return to it.
Maybe you should just gift him a first appearance of Deadpool and be like, "Here you go, buddy."
Yeah, like I got a 9.6 close by.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little bit about me and my comic book history. I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit deeper
definitely.
further down the road.
Well, I knew you had. I knew you're into the franchise, as you put it. You have a tattoo on your arm, which I'm pretty sure is by Ken Lashley or somebody. So.
No, this is actually a this is actually those Marvel Legends figures. When you turn them sideways, there's always that
Oh yeah,
that image or whatever, and this is the image on one of the
nice.
Spider-Man ones. This is actually Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man,
Well, there you go.
and it was a young girl that did it for me. It was a 5-hour straight job. It
So what
was
are you gonna get on the other arm?
painful to sit through. I don't know. The entire reason why I actually got the Spider-Man one was actually because I wanted to celebrate just a connection that I had with my dad,
Yeah, it makes
and
sense.
the fact that we both enjoy comic books. My dad was very religious when he
Yeah,
passed away, so I didn't know if I wanted to do a large cross or something. And then I decided, okay, let's do something that we both enjoyed at certain parts of our
sure.
lives. Let's do something that's comic book based. And I decided, okay, I'll do Spider-Man. I know he had a respect for Spider-Man, but I wasn't about to go out and get Hopalong Cassidy or the Two Gun Kid or Kid Cold Outlaw or
Yeah, no, you can
or
save
something
that for
there.
you can save that
But
for the tramp stamp.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the other side, who knows? Who knows?
Do you have a favorite villain?
Uh, hmm, all time?
Yeah.
It's got to be Craven the Hunter.
See, there you go. Put that in the other arm.
It could be, yeah, but Venom might look good too there. But yeah, Craven the Hunter is probably my all-time favorite, and a close second with the Joker when the Joker's done right.
Oh yeah, well, that's been a
Yeah,
while too.
yeah, that's also been a while.
Well, listen, let's get the way we do it is the guest opens the box first, so we can keep chatting. But like, people
Sure.
want to see the goods. I have no, whatever. They're not. They're here. They're here for this winning conversation,
Right.
obviously.
So yeah, I see Rob's in the chat. So yeah, I'll probably get the Slab Hub logo over here. I'll just
There you go.
yeah, right through there. Yeah.
You should get it with a QR code so it links right to a video.
Just scan my arm, everybody.
Or just have a dermal implanted by Pocan Joe, and so, like, yeah.
That's pretty
Every
good.
time you walk by someone's like NFT activated phone, it
It just starts playing one of my Walmart videos.
yeah, exactly. To be fair, I didn't even realize Walmart was in Canada. I did. I knew that. But...
You know what was in Canada but is not anymore? Target.
Oh
Target.
wow.
Target came to Canada and failed miserably.
That's weird because they're like a bougie Walmart. So
yeah, bougie.
Yeah, well,
look
bougie compared to Walmart.
Look at you. Okay,
so the first thing in there, I don't remember what's in there. I just knew the first thing you're probably gonna grab is not a comic. So
no, so yeah, this is not a comic and it's wrapped up. So I have not gone through this before, and okay, so I see what that is. That's one of your creations. Okay. So did you want me to say this, or you want me to?
No, you can open. It doesn't matter, man. Open it in whatever order. Okay. I don't really remember what the rest of the box is. It's been a while.
Look at you.
But I thought you might dig that.
I
came across that.
Look
and
at you. Now, see, this might be something I get on my other arm. That's pretty cool. That's cool. Yeah, a little like it's very reminiscent of
yeah, it's not. Sr. I don't believe it's the original Kenner series because those are crazy. I think it's the second. It's like a reproduction. Right. But yeah, it's got the new Marvel logo on the back, but it's unpunched at least, and so do with it what you will.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thank you very much.
I figured you might.
I've never seen this before either. I've never seen this before. Very cool. I'm good. That's it now. Like, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Good night, Chris.
Yeah, right. See you guys.
I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm done.
It is probably all downhill from there.
Okay, so
all right, so. While we're doing this, your favorite villain is it Craven the Hunter? That series that kind of like is it from the Death of Craven the Hunter when he first died and not the 23rd time or whatever?
Right. So the original the Craven's Last Stand.
Yeah,
Craven's Last Hunt. It's got multiple titles, but sure. that whole 6 weeks where they crossed over from I believe it actually started in Web and then it went to ASM.
I think you're right. They had the Web are the covers I remember because they had some great like Mike Deck covers and stuff.
Right. Yeah. And he did the interiors as well.
Yeah.
And it's actually not just about Peter and Craven. Vermin's in there as well as the secondary plot. And I just fell in love with that storyline. I before that was the gang war storyline happened before this one. And I thought that was really good. Yeah, Hobgoblin was at the helm of that along with Kingpin. And that was my real first introduction to Wilson Fisk. And then the death of Craven came along. Now I was aware of Craven because of the cartoons and
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
but it really went deep into the psyche of
Yeah, and it was kind
Craven.
of a tragic story, and it made
Right.
it
And
made
you
a
get this, hit the whole father saga and then the
yeah,
respect he has for his mother and all that. And then it went
yeah,
from there. And then it ends very tragically. And that's probably
yeah.
what hooked me in was this does not have a happy ending. Yes, Spider-Man survives, but that's just it. And yeah. And yeah, and from that point though, Taylor, I really went back and I started hunting other, no pun intended,
Yeah.
other hunting back issues
Yeah.
of Craven. And
Nice.
often Craven was just
Awful fun.
a one shot or
Yeah.
one book storyline, unless it was the Sinister Six. And even then at times he wasn't necessarily used
Yeah,
properly
he
because
was
it
not
was
really the
always
focus of that group. He was kind
right.
of unpowered guy that, yeah.
Right. And but yeah, it just hooked me. It just hooked me in. Thank you, Rob. And and I just started enjoying the character because then
Oh, did I
you
not
know
update it? I thought I updated it in the link. I can't remember. I'll fix the link after the video, Rob. Sorry. I'm sorry, Chris. I copy
okay.
and paste from one to the next, and I swear I swapped it out, but I might not have. So
But yeah, and I like I said, I went hunting for Craven books, and the one thing I realized is that a lot of different writers use Craven across the whole Marvel universe. He wasn't just
yeah,
particularly a Spider-Man villain. He did do other stuff, like he was in Daredevil. Like he did do other appearances. He actually showed up in Cloak and Dagger. There was other stuff that he was in, and those iterations were actually some fun stuff. And it wasn't just the spear.
yeah.
He was
I mean,
actually
he was the
fun.
original version of the Predator.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, really.
Like who he walked around with a lion coat.
Ooh.
Like, yeah.
Actually, now that Marvel owns Predator, Craven
Wow.
versus Predator. Come on now, I'd be down for that.
Man, I'll put my money on that Russian. He may do some damage.
Yeah. Marvel, you
Craven
heard it here
the
first. Hire me
Hunter.
to write your
Yeah.
stories. It can't be as bad as fucking Nick Spencer.
Right. I don't say that guy's name, but anyways, yeah. See, I always got Craven close by, but yeah.
Yeah, I see. And I don't remember exactly what the hell I wrote through in the box for you, man. So,
Oh, okay. All right.
like it
So
all. So it is a
yeah,
recycled box. Look, you might have seen that earlier on Alan Rue's channel from
so
DJ Links. Yeah,
what does the
number
8
8,
represent? Okay.
Kobe.
Okay.
JPG is a big Kobe Bryant fan, so
Right. So this was shortly after then.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. So you want me to get into this?
Sure. Go. Let's
Okay.
dig on in.
All right. And the one thing I got to say is like look at this right here.
There you go. Blame Canada.
Yeah. I'm impressed. Okay. So do you want me just like one by one?
Just start at the top, sure. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's how we did it. I usually don't mix them up or
Okay. So I'll
Yeah.
like everyone does on YouTube, I'm just going to expose the book to the
and
camera
then look at
first.
it, and we then
And if I know what it is, I'll speak to it.
you probably have a fair amount of these, which I'm
Come
on. So
I've never seen this book before. I don't know anything about it.
your father might have appreciated the original series of it, but because it was back in the day. It's not a Western, but kind of.
No, but the truth be told, as you probably know, when I found some of my father's books, the first book I actually found was a Turok, and I actually have it right there. So I'll show it just because.
There you go.
Just because. So this was the very first comic book I found.
Much cooler cover too.
Yeah, this was the very first book I ever found of my father's, and I thought this was it. And I had it cleaned and pressed, and it came back a 2.5, just because there's so many color breaking, creases and stuff in it. And then it was a while later I actually stumbled across a much larger collection of books, and they were all westerns and historical books. Davy Crockett and
Tomahawk
and Cassidy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he was aware that this was relaunched. He may have actually if I know him, he would have been like, is there any swearing in or anything? And if I would have said no, he'd be like, okay, let me take a look through it.
It's not a horrible cover either. I actually kind of like the cover. But.
And the embossment's really nice. I could see my dad, who would have been like, all right, let me take a look at this. Let's see what's going on in here. $4.50 Canadian. Come on. Seriously, how old is this book? And it's $4.50 in Canada?
I mean, how long has the Canadian dollar been worth jack shit?
My God. It's like books aren't even like that much now.
Yeah.
My God, like Jim Shooter, you greedy bastard.
Yeah, he was. He was
All
trying
right.
to ride the wave of
All right. I did not know that this existed. I did not know that Marvel stole this handle for a FF book, but I am impressed, sir. The Fantastic Four, A Death in the Family. Because when I
Yeah.
think of A Death in the Family, it's not FF that I
It's not
think of.
Fantastic Four, yeah.
No, it's Jason Todd every day of
Yeah.
the week.
It is. Marvel,
Yeah.
they're blatant thieves with all that stuff. It's just
But yeah, that's actually a pretty good cover.
it's a cool cover. I don't think I ever read that one. It
But
might
yeah.
be the Matt Fraction run of it. I can't remember who was
Yeah.
writing it at the time. But
No, Kessel. But
Oh,
it is
yeah,
a
no.
Lee Weeks did the cover and the interior, so I'm sure it's actually going to be
yeah,
a nice book to go through.
and it's probably worth about $3 Canadian. So,
But yeah, $5.75.
Jesus, I'm not saying what it caught, what it was priced at the time. I'm saying what it's worth now.
Well.
We're in a global recession, people. Comics aren't worth a damn thing. Send me all of your valuable comics, and
well, from A Death in the Family to Fantastic Four #1.
Yes,
and this is the Matt Fraction. As you,
that's
oh my
Matt
God,
Fraction
look at
one.
the thing there. That's
I know,
a
things are
great take
slow.
on Ben.
Yeah, and that one's actually gone up a little bit in value since the time. I don't know why,
Has
but
it?
like a little bit. It's not. It's still not a huge key. But the Matt Fraction run was. He was. I don't know if you were reading at the time, but he was doing 2 Fantastic Four titles. He did Fantastic Four with them, and then he also did FF, where with Mike Allred drawing that had like, what was it? Ant-Man and She-Hulk, and I can't remember who else is in it. But they were both running concurrently.
The only FF book that I read that wasn't the original team minus Ben or without Ben recently was that one that had Wolverine and Spider-Man was in it, and
and
a
the
couple
Hulk,
a couple others, and I was just
Yeah.
like, this is just hot garbage. Like,
It
come
is.
on.
I think the Fantastic Four is a
cash grab.
tough book to get right.
Oh, and all they have to do is just play up the whole Johnny versus Ben thing, and you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Halfway there.
I've heard the recent Dan Slott run is okay, but it's Dan Slott.
I tried it and I gave up on it, and I
Yeah.
gotta admit, it's hard for me to give up the Fantastic Four, but Dan Slott's just leaves such a negative taste in my mouth. Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah. All right. Have you ever read that one?
No.
Oh, that's a funky one too.
No. Wolverine killing.
That's Kent Williams. I love his weird as hell art, and like the crazy.
It's got a little bit of that Sam Keith flavor to it too.
Yeah. The hairdo that he gives Wolverine alone is worth the price of admission once you get into it. But like, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Square.
Yeah, the 90s goodness. I gave Ben the helmet because part of his like skin was falling off, right, Rob? Is that but yeah, that's
yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Yeah, this is cool. All right.
I was trying to like the Chris set the rules. He's like, let's just have fun. I'm like, all right, we'll just give the. So I tried to figure out fun books and like Turok. You don't get more fun in Turok.
I'm trying not to look, but.
Oh yeah, okay. And the same.
All right, all right. I got another book I got a lot of respect for because I read a lot of the game and stuff in the 80s, and then it just got a little too out there for me, and then I moved on.
It's worth it holds up fairly well. It's kind of wordy by today's standards. But
so the Sandman Dream Country. Okay, so I'm presuming this is when Gaiman was just spinning off his own stuff.
This is early, actually. It's like the 16 or 17, and like this one might have been A Midsummer's Night's Dream. I can't remember. Like there was 4 like standalone issues that like kind of he used to break up the bigger arcs, which I kind of dug because like it was a breather. He knew to give breathers to the reader, like because like he did have one. He had all 75 issues planned out, but then he also would do like, he did like an issue with like a guy that wanted to live forever and like the ramifications of that, and then he did the Midsummer's Night's Dream with the Endless in attendance, and then he did a woman dying and introducing death as a sympathetic character, a superhero that was dying and stuff. So I loved it. It was one of my formulative like reading books in high school and stuff. That just
I get it. And for like I said, for me it was Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. That was the mature reader type of thing. That was a little bit okay. I need to investigate what that word means. And yeah.
I didn't read.
Now we're talking. Later. Now we're talking. All right. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Marvel team up. And look, we're mixing my two favorite franchises.
Exactly. I mean, it's the team. Yeah, you got Wolverine and or you got Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. So I was trying to, yeah.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. 79? Wow.
Early
All
Newsy.
right.
Well, actually, not really. All the Newsy. They were all Newsies back then. What like
Yeah.
Dazzler #1 was came out right around. Shut up, Siri. Dazzler #1 was the first direct edition comic. I know that much. So,
All right, we have our first special edition.
oh yeah.
I can remember this.
To be fair, everybody, I sent this to Chris before the show was kind of what the show was.
Yeah, I can remember when this. I can remember seeing this.
Yeah, that
on
was
the stands.
that's
So
the stock market on that book has tanked, but you know it's a cool book.
Yeah.
Now, did you didn't love the show? I'm assuming, right?
No, I didn't love it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And love is a strong word.
Yeah,
and no, and I didn't enjoy it either.
I loved Oscar Isaac's performance.
Yes,
he did the best he could do with what he was given.
But the one thing I think we can both agree on, though, is no one mails it in when it seems to be with these Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be doing incredible performances, and Oscar Isaac could be arguably the best performance that we've had on a Disney Plus show. You know, I would say his performance and the performance of the Scarlet Witch on WandaVision, I thought that was fantastic as well. But my God,
I always like Loki as a character too. And
I often say Tom Hiddleston's probably the best actor in the MCU, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But this is sexy. All right, this is David Finch, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a good old Finch cover. When Moon Knight got swole, actually Pratt did it first, but then Finch came in, kind of did it. Yeah.
And do you know where David Finch is from?
I'm guessing Toronto, probably, or something.
I don't know if he's no, he's not a Newfie, but no, yeah, he's from Ontario. I think he's actually from down around Windsor, close to the.
That's basically northern Detroit. I mean, that doesn't count.
Right. Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry, but we're still keeping him. You can't claim him. But yeah, that's like he's ripped as hell through there. Look at that.
Yeah, I know which I don't. I actually like. I think Moon Knight should be more sleek and slender and kind of
right.
But whatever. I mean, it was the '90s and 2000s, and that's what you do. You make everybody big and buff.
Oh yeah.
But the only character they've never really done that to that I can think. Well, Fantastic Four is Reed Richards, but like Spider-Man is one of the few characters they've never really made super like overly muscular. I mean, they had him muscular, but
stop. Yes, there was a few where it's just like, oh yeah, it looks like he's just as wide as Captain America, and like,
all right, I can't. I mean, you would know. You're more of a Spidey head than I am, but
yeah, to me, Peter Parker should be like
wiry,
170.
Yeah,
I cut.
He should be just like me, wiry, and slender and all muscle. With a full head of hair, Biggie.
Yeah, like you shouldn't be able to pinch an inch on Peter Parker, but no. This is awesome. This is definitely 90s goodness. I think everyone that's watching, like as soon as I flick this around, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, 1993, 1994.
Oh yeah, that's
look at that tray just sparkle with it's all that's shiny. Oh yeah, there we go.
I think that's worth less than $1. It says on there too. So it's shiny foil goodness.
But it's the collector's edition, number one collector's edition.
Only 8 million printed.
Yeah, those eyes though.
Speaking of which, do you think the market's in for another crash?
I think we're starting to witness it. I think we're starting to witness. It may not be Black Monday, but it's Thursday or Friday. I hope not. I obviously, a lot of the prices were just ballooned. I didn't think they were sustainable. I think with everyone being at home, everyone wanted a new hobby, and everyone kind of trickled back to something that was a part of their youth, whether it was a sneakerhead or baseball cards or sports cards in general. Comics felt that as well, and I just don't think it's
we're not
outside of the
we're going to keep this light and happy today, but with the the fact that inflation and everything's costing more money right now, comics are going to go because they're a luxury item.
Right.
They're not.
In the end, the price of gas is going to dictate what you spend when it comes to that kind of stuff.
That
Like,
I do think. I mean, I'm a fan of artists. Obviously, I make art. I'm a fan of variant covers and stuff. But I think the prolific, like the fact that there's like 50 some variant covers for even Twig #1, I'm like, that's not sustainable.
70.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, and it's a good but like that's just them trying to say this is going to be the next thing and trying to force it down people's throats, and that never works. I mean, I think it's a good comic, but it's not going to be the next We Live or next Something's Killed the Children, or it's not going to hit those heights. It's just not. And
no, and the thing that made those two stories so special is that they were really low on the radar. They didn't have 50 variants of issue #1.
No,
they may have 50 printings of #1 now.
Yeah,
but Something Is Killing the Children, I believe, had 3 or 4.
But they had word of mouth, and they had the like friends telling friends, I'm like, you got to read this, and that's not happening with a lot of the new stuff. Now we're back in the churn. I mean, I think there are obviously still gonna be quality books that come out, quality writers and quality everything else, but I don't think it's gonna. I think that we had a giant blip in the thing during COVID, and I don't think it's going to get back up there for a long time.
Yeah, the best thing that happened in comic books was COVID-19.
Yeah, honestly.
What the worst thing that happened to the general public was COVID-19. The best thing that happened to comic books was COVID-19. Yeah.
You're
okay.
Right.
Of course, this is all just my opinion, everyone.
It's all Canadian opinion. We can't trust the northern opinions.
No. I'll just present it very nicely.
Yeah, so you could if I want to hear the gloom and doom, I'll have you present it because Carlito, you're his second favorite Canadian behind who? Who's #1, Carlito?
Like he's a brother of the leaf. We both enjoy cigars. So one thing that a lot of people may not know is, as much as I love comics, I love cigars just as much as well.
I never got into cigars.
No, it's there's always a good story over a cigar, though.
There's a better story when you're shit faced on whiskey, but
And what pairs well with whiskey?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, more whiskey.
So so here we have
Ryan Reynolds, obviously #1 Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is the second Spider-Man ongoing series that was ever done.
Yeah.
Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man. Then they just reduced it to the Spectacular Spider-Man. But
which is weird because like if you look it up, it's like just now known as the Spectacular. But I always knew it as Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Me too. Is like always like even when I had to talk about it with my classmates or my school buddies, it was always I got to go through the regurgitation here. Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. It's a long title, but I mean,
we would refer to Amazing as just Amazing and Web as just Web.
Just Web, yeah. But it was always Peter Parker.
But this was always Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man, you wouldn't have long titles today, such as Something's Killed the Children or The Me You Love in the Dark. This is the grandfather of all the long titles.
It's all that fucking title's fault. Yeah.
And I actually like the fact of what they originally, each one of those 3 books were supposed to be. Well, Amazing Spider-Man was supposed to be the franchisable title, the bestseller.
That's where all the first appearances happen, and that's what
This is supposed to be focused on his employment and his personal life, and that kind of thing. And Webb was supposed to be more of the action based.
And they actually stuck with that for a fairly long time.
Yes,
and now as well is ASM the only? Yeah, it's the only ongoing book, right? There's no more Spectacular, and there's no. Oh well, I mean, there's the Ben Reilly clone bullshit, but that's a mini, right?
They did try with a Spectacular a little while ago, but that died off quickly. But it's
you take that back.
Gotten them right.
Clearly Canadian. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Clearly Canadian is delicious. I don't think it's even made in Canada, but
what's that?
Clearly Canadian. The drink.
Clearly, I don't know if that's made anymore.
I don't think. Yeah, they brought it back for a minute. So
right. Okay, but you got to remember the Clone Saga. That was a web of Spider-Man, and then into Spectacular Spider-Man, and then all that nonsense that went with it. And well, look at you! Yes,
You know, I had to throw you. I had to throw you at least a couple franchise books in there. So
All right, I'm impressed, and I love when they have like these like F-level villains.
yeah,
Yeah, Cyclone, a
I
brand
mean
new
that's
menace.
D level. I mean, he had a superpower at least.
Oh, come
He was better than
on.
the Frogmen that showed up in Spectacular.
Right. So this is ASM 143.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cyclone, a new menace for Spidey to battle.
that
Love
might be the
it.
first appearance. I don't remember. I don't think. I don't think so. I think his first appearance might have been an Iron Man, but I can't. I really don't
Love it.
recall.
Love it. Yes, I'm impressed. Actually, I'm going to read this book. I'm going to read it.
Nice. Oh, I guess it is for a Cyclone. So there you go. Biggie
Okay.
would know. He's an encyclopedia. Biggie, when you coming on the show, man? When are we doing this? Anyways.
Ooh. All right. So this is another ASM, and it's a villain that I talked about a little while ago because of the gang war was my introduction to this villain. You can tell just by the pants alone.
Yeah, he's pointing at the crotch. That's the look.
Yes. Oh, he's like, yeah, he's about to give him the
It's such a weird.
claw.
That's such a weird cover to me. Like,
Oh, Kingpin, you're in for some trouble now. Yeah.
we could chat. I'll hit you up on Insta, Biggie. We could talk. It's not really just buying that. It's just kind of we just swap stuff. So I know it's a
Very
strange one to
cool.
me. I always thought it was just a strange composition. Like,
Yeah.
I've never.
I'll look
I'm
it up.
surprised nobody's homaged it. I'm not actually because
Don't say it too loudly. Todd McFarlane may hear you.
that's true. Well, yeah, he only homages himself nowadays. So.
Okay, so we got 3 left.
All right. So, do you have a favorite like movie or anything of comics related? I mean, comic related. We can talk about non-comics, but
So the most recent Spider-Man quickly jumped to the top 3.
nice.
The Infinity War I thought was spectacular. The ending was just phenomenal, and the fact that they were all fractioned and they all thought that they had the upper hand, and in the end, because they were fractioned, they all lost.
Yeah.
And but the one that really kicked it all off for me was the original Superman. I can
Oh,
remember
dude.
when so obviously my parents were still together, and
Yeah.
and it was good times for my family at that point, and going to see it, and like all 3 of us being blown away by that movie, and the performance that Christopher Reeve turned in,
And still one of the
honestly,
greatest like theme scores of all time. As far as like
yeah,
his.
it's to me, I think the Superman one is a little bit more iconic than Star Wars. Hate me all you want, but
No, I mean, as far as the song goes, I might give it to you. Yeah.
yeah, it's as soon as you hear it, and it's so uplifting, and it's hard
Yeah.
not to like picture Christopher Reeve just
And
ripping open the shirt. Yeah,
that's I think I know they tried capturing that with the Brandon Routh Superman kinda, but it didn't work. And like the grim dark, the poorly lit, mopey ass Superman that I think Henry Cavill's a fine actor, but that Snyder Superman was not Superman. You got to have him be the beacon of hope and to have it be like not necessarily a cheerful movie, but you have to have at least the main character be the infallible, the never giving up hope. And that's not. I don't know. The new stuff didn't do that, so yeah.
okay, we can agree to disagree on that. The
All
one
right,
thing
fair
I
enough.
can say about Brandon Routh is, to me, one of the best comic book scenes ever filmed was Brandon Routh's Superman catching that plane and
Yeah,
putting it down in that baseball stadium.
I
That
think
was
I think he did a fine job
incredible.
as Superman. I just don't think it was
Yes, it wasn't his fault.
yeah.
I thought he was a terrific
And
Superman.
I actually might even
Terrific.
prefer him over Henry Cavill as far as that goes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it was just a garbage movie.
But yeah, he didn't have
Like,
much of a script, and it jumped the shark early as far as I'm
yeah,
concerned. Like Lex Luthor is going to make all this new land and everything, but who's going to want to live there? Is my question.
yeah.
Look, it looked like crap. It's just rocks.
It's like living
And
in
yeah,
northern Canada.
right. No, not North Korea, but no,
Yeah,
easy.
yeah,
No,
easy.
Wisconsin. It's just tundra. It's useless and
True.
wasteless.
It is. It's
But
a
no,
wasteland.
I agree.
Football fans and rednecks. That's all we got here. But yeah,
The one thing I can say about the Man of Steel film, yeah, it was dark. We had an emo Superman that was struggling, with the fact he had these abilities, and Jonathan Kent, his father, was holding him back
Yeah.
from becoming Superman. To me, it's a much deeper Superman film, and a lot of people kind of just gloss over it that way. I think there's some hidden messages in there. I think the end battle probably went on for 5, 6, 7 minutes longer than what it had to. Just him and Zod just pummeling each other through Metropolis, through
I mean,
buildings and
it
stuff.
is Snyder. That's what he does. He'll like
Yeah, and
slow mo the shit out of everything and like make it last
but
45 times
again,
longer than it has to. But
the score for that Hans Zimmer score for the Man of Steel, I thought was terrific.
yeah,
Obviously they could, John Williams set the bar so high with the original one, but I thought this one was very, very good.
yeah, we will have to.
But I like Cavill as Superman. I
Yeah,
think
he was fine. It's just, like
yeah.
it's again not his fault, but I just didn't care for the rest.
The
package.
second half of Zack Snyder's Justice League, to me, once Superman came back and he wasn't, trying to wipe out the Justice League, and we had him show up, that is the Superman that I want. Not the big blue Boy Scout, but the big blue angel.
Yeah.
This is the last line. He shows up when when there's no hope left, hope shows up.
Yeah.
And that's where I thought Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League used him well that way.
Yeah, much better
when he showed
than
up in the black
Whedon's
suit.
crap. Whedon's
Right.
was a lump of shit, obviously, and
Oh
Snyder's
my
was
God,
better.
it's just terrible what happened.
But then the Batman Superman Dawn of Justice was another turd of a like.
I enjoyed it for what it was. Again, I just Superman's just hits one of those soft spots for me.
I get
just
it.
because
just
because it takes me back to that point when my parents were still together. It was still a happy house, and the one thing that we all agreed on was the Superman film, and that only happened a handful of times in my life before they split up.
Maybe why I disagree with you is because I love the original '78 film, and I love Superman 2. I thought the Zod was a great villain in 2, and I liked the first 2 I thought were just like, they had they were cheesy and stuff, but like Christopher Reeve just captured what it was.
Even
like,
the shoulder roll that he does from Clark Kent into Superman is
and the
brilliant.
bit of cockiness to Superman, but not condescending, and the
no.
He just had that.
He was still kind, right?
He had the tone just right, and that's the part that like.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone has quite caught is that.
Yeah, it was the Man of Tomorrow, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's the only how like people are like there's with that Batman films are like there's been no good Batman actors and good Bruce Wayne actors. Like I think Christopher Reeve's the only one that's captured both Superman and Clark Kent.
I agree.
Come anywhere near close on it. So
I agree, and I think the one thing that we can agree upon is Brandon Routh and Henry Cavill haven't had that perfect script that or that Christopher Reeve had for the first one. And the thing is, even in the late 70s when that first movie, the Brando Superman was introduced, everyone in North America at least knew the character inside and out because he was still the main franchise.
Yeah,
he was still the main franchise in comic books. Period. He's still above Spider-Man. He was miles ahead of Batman. He was it. And then the movies came out, and then the comics started going downhill. And
I don't know if any character has been shit on more than Superman in the comics. Like as far as treated poorly with crap writers and
right. Well, with that being said, the stuff that's in Action Comics right now is probably
I need to pick it up. I've not
is some of the best Superman story writing that I've read in God knows how long. God knows.
That's
probably since Red Sun, and that's an Elseworld story anyway, right? And All-Star Superman as well. That's another good.
All-Star Superman's fantastic.
Yeah, it always takes not Earth 1 Superman to tell a good story, and that's a problem.
Did you ever read the Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow or whatever? I think it's called. It's the last Alan 2 issues of Alan Moore on Superman.
No, but it's on my list. I know of it, so I just need to find it cheap. So
it's like his love letter to Superman, and it's fantastic. Like it's it's Alan Moore. So how do you go wrong?
Oh, so you've sent me an autographed book.
I probably did. I can't remember.
So this has to be a variant. Okay, so this is Batman issue 50.
Yeah, yeah, it's autographed. It's a variant.
It's the whole marriage thing that didn't turn into a
Yeah, it's not.
marriage.
It's my second most least favorite Batman writer.
But yeah. Is this a Clayman autograph?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, they the old bait and switch again with
Yeah. That's.
with Batman and Catwoman. But they didn't need to do this, in my
No,
opinion.
they didn't.
They didn't need to do this
No.
because the Batman, this Scott Snyder run was so well received. Like there was
Yeah.
a few weak issues, like let's be honest.
Yeah.
But the whole Court of Owls thing
Oh, dude.
saved
Yeah,
that series.
it did.
Yeah. And then
Tom King.
and then they did this.
And then Tom King and then Tynan. And like
Right.
I
And
am
now,
I am putting all my faith in that motherfucker Canadian that's coming up because oh boy.
call them the Canadians, man.
Something's got to be done because like
when you got to save a series, you call them the Canadians.
They've got 10 different Batman series, and none of them can get it right. I'm like, holy crap!
And there's been so much potential with so many different ones, and even that jock oversized one,
Oh,
I
God,
thought that looked so
it looked gorgeous, but
spectacular,
it was such awful.
and it's so weak. Like, come on, man! Like, come on.
I do think like if they don't get it sorted with Chip, I think they should just give it to Tom Taylor and let Tom Taylor do his thing.
Yeah, I think if they give Zdarsky some freedom,
yeah,
it could be good.
It could be,
but they don't get again. He's their franchise, and it's the franchise title, right? And
whoever's the like the editorial doing editorial decisions on there should probably just be tossed out,
right?
Like it's not.
I hope with Zdarsky he doesn't go, okay, now I'm going to create my own villains, like how each of the writers have, and I'm going to try and create this whole world of brand new characters that are all mine. Like, don't be afraid to go back and grab some C and D
optimistic
characters from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like, it doesn't have to be.
He's got this love of the older characters and stuff that he's proven in other titles that I'm hoping that he goes back and grabs like maybe Clayface or like just somebody unexpected.
Right.
That, like,
it doesn't have to be Joker. It doesn't have to be, all the Batman 66 villains. It doesn't have to be that rogues gallery. Like, my God, Talia al Ghul is just sitting right there. Someone do something with that character. A break.
Josh Williamson is doing too anyway.
It was waiting for you to do that. Okay. But
what they should really do is use Punchline because it's the best character ever made.
Oh, let's see. I set him up and now he's jumping on his. Okay. All right.
Anyways, go on, man. Sorry.
Okay. Wow. Talking about Canadians. Here's the most Canadian famous superhero.
Yeah, I don't know if you had that one or not. I think you can only win it from giveaways from that Spider-Man booth. So
I do not. If I do, I may have like a color.
The black and white color. You can only get it that way.
Okay,
and it's a Miko Soyan connecting cover. So
this is busy, but my God, it's got the best Canadian superhero and the best Russian supervillain.
I don't see Vindicator.
Oh, what? Vindicator?
Yeah, the
Puck?
wife of.
Did you mean Puck?
No, I meant what's her face? I meant the wife of the Guardian or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I read Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight was actually really good.
I like.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it as a Canadian. John,
I will defend the first 50 issues of Alpha Flight to death.
Yeah, they gave John Byrne freedom, and then here's Guardian, an established X-Universe character, and what do they do? Like 12 or 13 issues in, they kill him off.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, and then his wife assumes the suit and turns out to be a much better character.
Yeah,
again, see a non-sexualized female character. Look what you can do with it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And well, the last book is the banger. I'm impressed. And yeah, my second favorite Spider-Man artist is Eric Larson.
Oh, well.
And this is, wow. This is minty mint. This is beautiful. And it's a cover that's now being homaged to hell. But yeah, this is ASM 347.
Oh, yeah. I figured you might appreciate that one. Yeah. I'm sure you already have it, but, it's all
right. If I do, mine's definitely a reader. I haven't gone out and picked this up slabbed or anything.
Eric Larson, the guy that gave Venom the tongue.
And yeah. And it was just a short while later he left and he, started
Savage
started
Dragon.
paying his mortgage with the Savage Dragon, and which was my favorite, actually my favorite Image title.
I mean,
And
I read it for a bit. It was entertaining. I didn't last too long on any of those titles at first because they were just.
At first, it was serious with that touch of camp, you know, but the camp wasn't like over the top. The camp was just the degree that the villains were being homicidal in Chicago and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when Larson took the badge off the Savage Dragon, it kind of lost it for me. I stuck around for like 50 or 60 issues. And then after that, then he got political in the end. I'm like, I don't need politics in my comic books unless, you know, superheroes dealing with a rogue, you know, a rogue politician. I don't need to be
I don't think we could talk about this for hours too, because I don't think comics have ever avoided politics. I don't think comic writers ever have. Jack Kirby and Stan Lee definitely went head on into politics. So but there's ways to do it that aren't ham-fisted.
Right. It's just fine with the Savage Dragon now. It's just all about agenda.
Yeah. That's fair. I haven't read it.
This is awesome, Taylor. Thank you very much, my man.
Oh man, I hope you dug it. So
yeah, that's and I gotta admit, you were all thinking that the Spider-Man is the one I'm most happiest about. You would be wrong.
Well, there you go. The Turok #1 finally made its way to Canada.
Right. And I do have a copy, and I've got other copies in other mystery boxes. So now I am gaining on the Promiscuous Time Traveler for amount of Turoks.
His number of Turoks. There we go. It's gonna be a hard one to catch.
And the thing is, he's actually a good character. A lot of people don't realize that there's actually decent storytelling.
Like, Shooter was kind of an asshole by all accounts.
Right.
However, that Valiant universe
was good storytelling.
Bound above Image as far as writing goes.
Oh my sweet Jesus, yes.
I love the Solar Man of the Atom. Harbinger was great.
That's where I was going. Harbinger, I thought was and Rye, once Rye got his own monthly. Yeah, Harbinger by far I thought was above everything else. Archer and Armstrong was good too. But yeah, the art was, to me, but the storytelling was fantastic.
For a while there, Barry Windsor Smith was on Solar and our Solar Man of the Atom, and that was, dude. Right. He's still one of my favorite artists, and he just knocked that shit out, and he was, But well, thanks, man. I hope you dug it, and I've not peeked other than this, and thank you, sir, for this personal note. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Okay. I got a remarked bag that I'm gonna try not to super destroy to get into it, but no promises. Oh, hey, and I appreciate that you used good old United States Post Office material on the inside.
The irony is not lost on you, right? Yeah. Okay.
I was hoping for a Canadian Post bag, but they don't have. Do they have flat rate mail there? Probably not.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. All right.
So no.
I'm assuming to start at the top too.
I can't remember like you.
And
so have fun.
Recycling the box.
Yes, everything that's there is recycled, as is some of the comic books. No.
Well, I'm gonna bigot myself by the way, if you want Chris's shirt, shameless plug, and or a villain hoodie, you can get it at taylorwinder.com for all of your needs. Oh wait, what did I just do?
It's very slimming, I gotta admit. So thank you.
And try. Tell it to Rob. He doesn't think anything should be on a front print as far as shirts go. Oh, look, it's your favorite Arkham comic ever. I do like Man-Thing. I love my giant Man-Thing.
And the thing is, again, another interesting character that it hasn't had a good writer.
And this is a cool cover. Is this Greg Land? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's hit or miss, but I dig this. This is that they tried for a month to make Man-Thing a popular thing. They had it running across 14 different titles, and I don't think it stuck. But
yeah, I like the fact they put the little spider emblem on the front of them.
Yeah, the little Venom thing or giant man Venom. I don't even know what they're doing with this one, but yeah, it's a very cool cover. I'm not going to read this. Actually, I have. This is that dumb as hell issue with the new suit. It's 62, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. With the
weird blue and golden.
Right.
Yeah. What was that suit for? I can't remember what he was trying to be. I don't even remember.
He was taking a paycheck.
Oh yeah, from that stupid corporation, right?
Right. That's when he was
corporation-y stuff.
Yeah, he was the introduction to the Beyond Corp there a little bit.
Oh yeah, now you're talking. This is the Turok one of the box for me. But
Ooh,
now,
yes.
oh yeah,
Yeah, let's get into some NS.
hell yeah. Let's crawl right up the anus. See what I did there?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's like first season of
the
Boys.
social media suit. That's right. Thank you, Rob.
Oh Jesus, yeah, that was so stupid.
Interesting
This is
concept.
back when I liked Ennis too. Like he's hit or miss again too. He's one of those writers that like when he goes way over the top, I'm like not so into it. And like the Preacher didn't start off way over the top. It kind of ended up there. But when it started, I was like, oh hell yeah.
I think Taylor, for me, when it came to Preacher, he kind of ran out of ideas.
Yeah.
Like there's only so much evil you can do without starting to copy Constantine, as far as I'm concerned. And I kind of think he became his own worst enemy when it came to that. I'm glad it's finished. I got him.
Me too.
He didn't have to go as long as The Walking Dead,
premise.
Right? Yeah.
Tyler, just answer that really quickly. We got the northern end of it, not as badly. I know southern Wisconsin really got hit. I know there were tornado warnings all over Chicago and stuff a couple hours ago. So like, yeah, the storms are really hitting, but I didn't really hit around me that badly. So I hope you're safe. So, but yeah, the beginning of this and the premise, like,
oh, spectacular.
Like an ex-preacher that wants to find God and ask him what the hell he's been doing, like, what's up with a vampire and an evil, like semi-evil ex-girlfriend along. Hell yeah. Like, oh, and this one, I don't know. I've not seen this one before, but yeah. You had me at purple tentacles. I dig it. And I'm peeking ahead to the next one too, so like I couldn't help it.
I got to admit, as a kid, I could never pronounce Cthulhu the right way. So
yeah, I know. I mean, I've read a bit of
too many consonants in the wrong spots. But
I read a little bit of the original stuff back in the day. It doesn't read super great anymore either. But like,
right.
And I watched Lovecraft Country on HBO, which is fantastic. If you've never seen it,
is it worth checking out?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a crime that got canceled. It was really good.
Okay.
And
I got to admit, for those of you that are still hanging out with us, it's hard to curate a box for Taylor Winder.
Oh, it's not.
So, because Taylor comes on my show Wednesdays and he talks about New Comic Book Day, and he doesn't say anything positive about anything.
Okay, half of that is I have to fight with Mark.
Anything. Mark doesn't show up that much. I'm just
he's there.
So it's hard to curate a box for Taylor Winder.
I know that you're into videos. I say positive stuff at the end. I will read. I will read this. I'll give it a whirl.
Right. I know that you're into horror, and I know that you're into psychological stuff as well.
And I dig the cheesy old shit. So I'm all over the map on it. Yeah.
So yeah.
And speaking of,
right. So boom. That's a collector's big premiere issue.
Hell yeah.
Sectors number one.
It's a high grade according to the bag too.
Yeah.
And Torpedo Comics put a $12 price tag on it. So
that's
right. That's $2 Canadian.
That's right. Sectors. Sit on that. If they ever make a movie,
did you ever see these as a kid?
Of course. Yeah. And I can remember the big swords and the big shields that they had, and they had like holograms on their shields, and they were like human and insects, and
they were really trying hard to come up with something.
Yeah, I think that it came out after Thundercats or just before Thundercats, and Marvel jumped on whatever trademark they can get their hands on to.
Yeah, this is back when Marvel was. Yeah, you're right. They're just trying to get every licensed thing. Yeah, it's a cool cover. I've never read it. I'd be honest with you. I thought it was actually like a Star book, that offshoot that they had for a bit. I thought Sector is a Star, but I guess not.
No, and it's right around that whole Secret Wars 2 thing. So it's kind of like they had money. They're going to throw out all these licenses and hope that something's stuck.
Secret Wars 2. It's weird that those books are becoming popular now too for some stupid ass reason.
There's some bads. And as interesting as Secret Wars the original was, I think sometimes the covers outdid some of the content. The whole thing was but Secret Wars 2, like they really messed up with it right off the bat. Just the image of the Beyonder was terrible.
It was awful.
A guy in a one-piece jumpsuit, terrible. Black hair that shone blue. And then him just walking around the earth is acting dumb and stuff like
it was awful. It was an awful idea.
It's
such a letdown after Secret Wars 1 because Secret Wars 1 not great literature. It was a lot of fun. And like
Yes.
you ended up with Doom saving the day, and like I mean, like it,
And
like
that cover was
oh
fantastic.
yeah, the
Yeah.
covers, dude. Mike Zack
Yeah.
again, like
Yeah. That whole Doom down on one knee, stripped apart, still holding on for dear
yeah,
life. And then you have obviously Secret Wars 8,
and you got the
which
Hulk holding
is
up the mountain with
right.
like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
had all the
And
great. I had the
yeah,
iconic covers.
iconic.
There we go.
Okay.
Boobies.
So that was supposed to be in Gary B's box. I don't
Oh,
know how
all
that
right.
ended up there, but somehow it's yours now.
Well, all right, Gary. I'll send this over to you. I do like boobies, but I've never heard of the Magdalena. But I know Vampirella. If you
Right.
ever watch Princess of Comic Games, like she tended to buy
But yeah,
every single one.
I think Vampiro looks a little thick in that one. I don't think she's normally that
No, she's always got the curves, but she's sporting some Power Girl
oh
likeness
yeah,
going on
but
there in the top.
I like her armband. That's all I see when I look at
That's
that cover.
obviously yeah.
Yeah, just that armband.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's got a nice gold
Oh,
ting
and
to it.
then I like your transition, by the way, if you remember this, because it's like try turning.
So we have sexy thick Vampirella, and now we have
Now we have
old lady
Grandparilla.
old lady Vampirella.
Yeah,
Old man
Grandmarilla.
Logan. Yeah, Grandparilla.
Gran-
But that's actually a beautiful cover. Like
it's
the
beautifully
work
painted.
itself is
It's disturbing. I'm
fantastic.
guessing it's Canadian because it looks like that's the mutant beaver on the back.
So I believe that may have been a mutant beaver toss in, but yeah, it's a virgin Grandparilla.
Oh yeah, I'm just curious.
No pun intended.
Oh, and it doesn't say. So it's an incentive cover. So this was this is an incentive cover. So if you paid for all the enough sexy Vampirilla, you get Granny Vampirilla.
Like even the couch she's on is a granny couch.
It
Like
is.
that's
See ya,
something.
Kyle. Have a good night.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Kyle. But yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, even the couch is grandmother worthy.
I dig it. That's very cool. And this one, another one I've not read that I've been looking forward to because I dig Matt Kint. If Cole's still in here, I'm sure he's probably read it and could tell me all about it because he's a big Matt Kint fan. He's
Bang! Number one.
Another cool cover too. But I've never what has Matt Kint done lately? I mean, I know he did Grass Kings, which is pretty good. Oh, he's doing Berserker with Kananu, which yeah.
Good Canadian kid. But yeah, it's that's the last I've seen of Matt Kint. So I guess maybe he's busy now with the whole script writing of Berserker going into a movie. Well, Rob's saying that it wasn't bad.
Would you say it was fine? Oh, stuff. Okay, so other than Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, what have you been reading lately? I mean, I know you talk about it every Wednesday, but people might not tune into you because they watch me.
Right. So I'm holding on. So I'm enjoying again. Something is killing the children. Yes. So that's that's the book where I figured I'd get a middle finger.
Yeah.
So I'm still enjoying Something is Killing the Children. I'm liking how this one's starting. I know that you and I are kind of disagreeing on this particular arc.
It's gotten better. The last issue kind of righted the ship for me a bit.
Right. With the Hunter showing up basically. We'll see where this goes. I think that's actually a real nice twist to add some strong flavor to the story. I actually liked the first issue of the House of Slaughter with this brand new arc.
Okay. I was so say, like, really?
No, I thought the first arc was okay, but it wasn't about Aaron. It was introducing that other character from
I dropped
from
it.
Louisiana.
But yeah, it's Tynan and a different writer on every arc now, right?
Right. So yeah, I think Tynan gives the idea, and then the writer has freedom to do what he wants with it. So I'm liking the fact that they're moving forward with a character that's not a monster hunter, that he's a custodian of the history of the Order of St. George, and he's been now sent out on a mission because they have a lack of monster hunters.
Like that chubby librarian dude from Game of Thrones.
Could be. Right. Whose brother or family has that sword. Well,
yeah.
Jon Snow's buddy there.
Yeah, that one.
So yeah, I'm enjoying that.
It has a Canadian price tag on it, at least.
Yes. Yes.
This
It's
book,
actually not a
this
bad
book
cover.
itself, this is the best Jim Gordon book you'll ever read. It has nothing to do with the goddamn Joker.
No,
And this
no,
cover.
no. A guilty pleasure that I'm reading is something that I know Taylor's actually he enjoys as a guilty pleasure as well, and that is Kirkman and Samney's Firepower.
Oh yeah,
Uh, I
yeah,
pick up faithfully. It's just light reading. I power through it in less than 5 minutes.
yeah.
It's just fun,
It is.
and it's nice to have something that I know isn't going to let me down because it's almost the same thing every time.
It's the best
It's
Iron Fist book in 20 years.
yeah,
I mean, it really kind of.
it's the best Iron Fist meets Street Fighter meets Mortal Kombat book
Yeah.
you're going to read without
And
the
Samney's art, like people have knocked Samney's art for being simplistic, but it is really not.
No, not by any stretch of imagination. A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance is something
Oh yeah.
I'm and Newburn as well.
Is that written by Canadian?
It could be. It could. You know who it's doing? You know, it's the same guy that's going to be doing Batman.
Oh, I heard he might be Canadian. So yeah. Now is Jacob Phillips Canadian? I don't think so. The artist.
No. But
I know he's Sean Phillips' kid. I just didn't know if he's. Maybe they're both Canadian. I think the only Canadian artist left. There's like what, two? Like is it Lashley and Capullo? Is Capullo Canadian?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay. So there's only one. There's Lashley.
Finch.
Oh, all right.
Finch, Fabok. Yeah, there's a few of them.
3.
Todd McFarlane.
He's not an artist anymore. He's a CEO.
He's not really Canadian anymore either. I'm sure he's got American citizenship.
Yeah. Is he a dual citizen?
No, because that's because of your country. That's not allowed. You can't be a dual citizen.
I'm just trolling you, as you well know. So
there's a lot of books that I've started off with recently that I have high hopes for. Grimm is a book that I have high hopes for. Poison Ivy #1 that just came out last New Comic Book Day. I thought that was a very interesting start.
I liked Poison Ivy. I was surprised.
Yeah, and I thought the one thing I was hoping that wasn't going to be there was, okay, it's a villain, but she's doing something good. No, this book is not. She's out to end she's out to end mankind, and you get to see what she's doing.
It kind of reminded me of like what like a 90s Vertigo title in a good way.
Yes, yeah, there was no happy ending at all. So we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, I have high hopes for it. But then again, I had high hopes for The Last Ronin, and that belly flopped.
I mean, it had a great premise, and then just
great premise. And I think they probably revealed Mikey a little too early. If they would have held on for another issue and made everyone guess, it would have been,
and for as long as they took on that goddamn book, man, that was a weak ending.
Man. I feel like it was almost a year and a half in the making.
Like all you wanted was a giant goddamn fight scene, and they just didn't do it.
Yeah, there was
like you knew he was gonna go down in a blaze of glory, but like there was no real blaze, no real glory. It's like okay.
Yeah. I'm still enjoying Noctera. To me, every issue's been good to strong. There hasn't been a weak one yet. And again, another strong female protagonist.
Yeah.
I hope that that. I know it's just a minis or a maxi series. I hope that we get a Noctera 2 down the line. But then again, when Snyder seems to have, a beginning and an end, I mean, like a season set for storytelling, that's when he, to me, does his best stuff.
I mean, stories need an ending. I think
right. It can't just drag on. Like that's what made the Court of Owls so good, in my opinion. That like yes, it's inside of a Batman run, but we knew that it was going to be this amount of issues, and it delivered. And
plus, one of the best covers.
Oh my god, yeah, like just incredible.
Yeah,
incredible,
and a cool concept, and the villains. And you gave me a signed book as well, sir. Not to like transition away from that, but this is awesome.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. And that's one of, I don't talk about it that much on YouTube, but one of my all-time favorite characters is one of Mike Mignola's creations, and that's Hellboy. I love awesome. Big Red. I love Big Red, and we don't get enough. We don't get enough, in my opinion.
Mignola's one of my top artists of all time too.
Right.
I love his use of shadows. I love Hellboy, and and like He's a great writer. Like at first, like
Yes, like
who he
Scotty.
was John Byrne he
Yeah.
paired with at first. I can't remember who he paired with to like back him up on the writing. But then he realized he didn't.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. But again, a lot of people don't realize his artwork. Yeah, he was the artist for A Death in the Family. He was the
Yeah,
artist that handled the death of Jason Todd. But yeah, a
the
lot of
covers.
people don't know the covers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jim Aparo did the interior art,
right.
but yeah,
So yeah,
I know that much.
but yeah, they
Sorry.
again, Mike Mignola. Yeah, he's
Yeah, he did great.
underappreciated powerhouse.
He
In my
did the
opinion.
great adaptation of the Dracula movie, and like and also I love the Spectre. Spectre is one of my favorite characters too. Like the Spirit of Judgment. Like DC, if they ever got their goddamn act together, could really probably whoop the hell out of Marvel just in the character department.
Right.
They have so many great
Isn't that
characters.
Zatanna right there beside him too, though?
I think it's Zatanna. I can't. Yeah, in the weird '80s costume. I think you're right. Yeah. So
yeah,
and I'm not sure, or maybe that's her in the background. I'm not sure. I'd have to read it, but like that's a cool. This is like early Mignola before he got full into the heavy shadows too. This is '87, so this is very cool. Thank you, man. My first Mignola signature too.
Oh,
I will treasure this. Oh, and then hell yeah. Okay, we were talked a bit about Grant Morrison because in All Star Superman, and dude, yeah. If you guys have never read his Animal Man run or his Doom Patrol run, it is just batshit in the best of ways. And yeah, I dig this, man. This brings me back to this definitely brings me back. And it's Brian Bolland on the cover too. Like one of the other great cover artists of all time. I think we lost the audience. Either that or my comment. No one's still commenting, but that's all right. Whatever.
Bolland's responsible opinion for the best story ever told. Yeah.
I got more bubble wrap so I can set out the next round, which is awesome. And oh Jesus, dude. All right. Hang on. Oh, I got a keychain. I made the cut.
It's true.
Sweet.
It's true. So yes, magnets are coming in with the same style except larger.
I need a keychain
die
too
cut.
because
yeah.
I have a naked key ring right now. I have a mini Leatherman. And that's it. So this will go on the place of honor.
All right.
And this is a yellow signature, so I can already tell you're kind of a jerk.
It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, sweet.
Horror comics.
This is fantastic, man. Antarctic Press. Mirka Andolfo. Nice. Awesome. Hell yeah, man. And it's a good old, Chamber of Chills homage cover. Very cool. I've never read this, but I won't because it's signed in a slab. This is awesome, man. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Cool cover too.
Again, you're so damn hard to curate for, so I'm just like, all right.
I literally, I tell everybody like, it's easy. Just get rid of shit you don't want, and I'll take it. And if I don't like it, I'll put it in the next box. It's awesome.
Right.
This is great, man. Thank you. I love all of them.
My pleasure.
Well, not the punchline.
No. But, I had to have a middle finger in there as well.
Obviously,
so we'll cut. Yeah. So yeah, you got. I got a Turok and you got a punchline. So
there we go.
We're good.
And Chip wants a keychain. Chip, go to Canada.
He did make the logo, so I guess I should.
I should
put together something for him.
Well, listen, we are at the hour and 15-minute mark. I could go do this all night with you. I think but I know you probably have to work pretty damn. Like, what time do you have to work in the morning?
10.
Oh, not bad. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's keep going. All right.
Now,
what do you want to know? Let's talk about my favorite subject. Me. Okay.
All right. Well, you were big into autographs for a while, right? Or like sports memorabilia and stuff.
Yeah, very much so. Like when it comes to the world of hockey, there isn't very many hockey players whose autograph I don't have or had the opportunity to work with when I used to volunteer my time at a very large autograph company based in Toronto. And basically would be I would go in and I donate some of my time, and in turn, the owner of the company would let me get a handful of items signed for free, in lieu of my time. And I work. The only superstar names that I never had a chance to work with was probably Wayne Gretzky, because he never did a signing with the company. And
Sure.
Mark Messier, I was actually not available for the signing when they had
So like
Mark
the
Messier.
two hockey players I know.
Right. So, but if you can think of Gordie Howe, I worked with Gordie multiple times
Nice.
before he passed away, and because of the strength of the company and their reputation, they started getting into other sports and then into non-sports. So I've had the opportunity to work with Mike Tyson,
Nice.
Joe Theismann, to get outside the world of that. But I've also have autographs from Mickey Mantle that I got
Dude.
in
Yeah.
person. Astronauts,
That's
and
awesome, man.
so the one thing I always wanted to do was get into politics when it
Okay.
comes to autographs, and I now have 3 Canadian prime ministers autographs on a picture of Parliament Hill, where the Canadian
Nice.
government sits, and I have two U.S.
For those who
presidential
don't know, that's
autographs.
obviously in Vancouver, Canada, is where
No,
Parliament Hill is.
that's in Ottawa. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And another cool autograph, if anyone can remember, is I received an autograph on his own business card of Rob Ford, the controversial Torontonian mayor that got himself in a little bit of hot water because he tried crack cocaine.
I thought that was a
And
crack guy, but then I mean,
yeah,
whatever.
and he ended up passing away a couple of years ago. And his brother, Doug Ford, is actually now the premier of Ontario and just recently won an election, I believe, in the last 2 weeks,
Huh.
and will retain his premiership.
Does he do crack as well?
No, not that I know of.
Hmm.
He's a big football guy, actually.
Yeah.
And
Nice. Like real football or Canadian football?
both.
Okay.
Yeah. And Canadian football is real football. But
It's sort of like bumper bowling is real bowling.
yeah, sure. If you're 8 years old, it sure is.
Yeah. So sort of like if you're 8 years old, Canadian football is just fine for football.
Yeah, it's 3 down football. So you try and get a touchdown 3 downs. But anyways,
Yeah.
again, I got a pair of U.S. presidential autographs, and that's probably one of my absolute highlights. The one autograph that escaped me that I always wanted to try to get was a Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah.
I did not get a Muhammad Ali, but I did get some other boxers, Leon Spinks, George Chuvalo.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a
Are you still into that kind of stuff? Because like the sports card market took like a dump too, right? Now it's like
yeah, it's back. No, I'm as far away from sports autographs as I've been probably in about 25 years.
okay.
And but I'm not far away from autographing. Again,
Sure.
like I still enjoy that aspect of going to comic conventions
Yeah.
is the autographing part of it, and being able to talk to writers. The one thing I can say, athletes versus writers, is you can say something to a writer and have that what you've said to them affect them.
Sure.
And I mean both positively and critique them, and they'll talk to you about it. With an athlete, that doesn't happen. It's always praise, praise, praise. It's never, hey man, like man, you went 5 games without scoring a goal, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I'd
And the
probably
thing
smack you
is,
too.
yeah, the thing is, when you say when you're in front of an athlete, it's probably cost you an arm and a leg to get that autograph.
Yeah.
It only costs you the arm and a leg to get into the con. To get in front of the writer, it's usually a free autograph. So then
Yeah.
it's like, now it's game on. I can say what
And
I
like
want.
letterers will pay you to autograph the
Right.
books.
And all I have to say is, when I have a chance to get Nick Spencer's autograph, whoever's going to be behind me is going to really regret it.
Night, Rob.
Good night, Robert. But yeah, I've got autographs from Joe Montana, like who's who of the NFL I've worked on as well. I enjoy getting like just particular pieces done. Like I have a Heisman Trophy helmet, and I've got, I believe, 14 different Heisman winners on it, and I have a Pro Football Hall of Fame helmet, and I think I am at around 22 Football Hall of Famers on it, and multiple signed jerseys and helmets and pucks and all that kind of thing. And yeah, it was a hobby, and it got to the point where I felt like there wasn't that many. Like I kind of felt like I reached the top of the mountain. Like
Nice.
everyone that I always considered like a personal hero or someone that was just a superstar, I met
That's awesome.
outside. Yeah, outside of like I've got Gretzky's autograph in person a couple times. I've had experiences with the man. Um, and yeah, it kind of
Holy
was, it
life.
was kind of, to me, it was just like I need to hit the pause button because I'm doing so much and I'm traveling all over the continent, both Canada and the United
Sure.
States. Like I'm going to Vegas, and when I go to Vegas, I'm planning autograph signings while I'm there. Like, oh, Pete Rose is going to be there. I'll go and get Rose on this, or
While he's
I'll go
gambling.
there. Oh, yeah, and just like it just kind of got to the point where I'm just like, okay, I think I'm good.
All
And
right.
it took me about 25 years to realize I think I'm good.
So, what's your most prized collectible then, or comic? I mean, comics in my head they're all the same thing. So, yeah,
So
I sort of figured that'd be
this
it. Yeah,
this means a lot too.
yeah,
For sentimental value, it means the world to me. The ASM one, there's just so many stories behind that one comic book. It
yeah.
than just purchasing it. Uh,
Were you ever able to get Stan Lee to sign something in person then, or no?
yeah, he signed the ASM in front of me. It
Oh,
was
that's
signed
awesome.
in his last Toronto appearance,
Oh, that's very cool
and it
because
was
I've got a
actually
couple.
built. It was
Oh,
billed as his last Toronto appearance.
wow, yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a couple books signed by him that I won, but like nothing in person. I never met the man, which is
Okay.
you know, it's kind of sad, but
Yeah.
you know. I'm not
I met.
complaining. I mean, you know, whatever. It's life. It's the nature of life. But
Yeah.
I also
I
didn't
met
get
him
back into
twice.
comics until he'd already passed away. Really, I
Yeah.
was on a break from comics when he was in his elder years. So yeah.
Yeah, I met the man twice. I met him first time in Detroit, and he signed the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man poster for me, the one
Oh,
with the
nice.
two twin towers that were in the
Oh
eyelid.
yeah, yeah.
He signed that for me, and it was a signature and photo op for $50.
Well,
How
that's not
long ago
bad.
was that?
Yeah, damn.
And and the second time was at Fan Expo, and he signed my ASM one for me. He signed a couple other Spider-Man, or pardon me, a couple other books as well.
Sure.
And yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. I thanked him for Spider-Man.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
and yeah,
Yeah. One of the
and
things I would like to do is eventually get a book that's signed by Kirby and Stan that they both worked on, which is hard because like I have two Stan Sigs, but he didn't work on the books. I mean, it was ASM 300 and Star Wars.
oh,
Oh, sorry
okay,
about
we're
that.
back.
My internet. I think my internet
Okay, okay,
had
we're
a
good.
hiccup. Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah. Anyways, yeah. I would one of my dreams. I would honestly like a Kirby All right. So I'm not sure if Chris is going to come back. I just exited and reloaded. We'll see if that works. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Tyler. I appreciate it. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happening here. StreamYard kind of had a hiccup, and I don't like. I definitely blame Canada. I'm gonna give it another minute or two, and then I'll probably wrap it up. So, just because I got a feeling Chris might not be coming back or something's going on, but because right now he's still spinning, and I'm just awkwardly talking to myself. Yeah, he left the studio, so we'll see how this goes. And oh, here we go. All right, I don't know what happened there. I was
Okay. No, it booted me out. However, I was still able to watch you say like I'm still here waiting for Chris to come back. So then I was like, okay, I'll go
okay.
to the original link and then come back in.
All right, good. All right, okay, good. We're both back. We could. It's probably as good a break to wrap this up as any. Honestly, or Chris and I could probably talk all night, which I would love to do. But I think you all have probably places to be and beds to go to, and StreamYard apparently hates me. So, what do you have coming up on your channel, good sir?
So earlier today, I dropped a Walmart 3-pack opening where I actually spotlight just 3 Marvel packs. The next one I'm going to be doing will be a pair of Marvel and a DC.
Nice.
I may actually try and drop that a little bit later this week, maybe Friday. Wednesday, I am going to be having my new comic book day hangouts, and it's an open invitation, everyone. Taylor, as always, you're welcome, my man, to pop in.
I
and
love being the positive voice for every comic that ever
Yes.
comes out.
And you know what? It's a lot of fun. Like I
It is a
say
lot of fun.
every week I'm always a little bit nervous. It's the only time I actually get a little bit nervous now is if actually anyone's actually going to show up and join me, because you know, a lot of people seem to come and go in waves. Like for a
Yeah.
while there was you know, XYZ would be there and now they're not. But then, you know, I have this new wave like yourself has been a very welcome constant on that. I will be on Slab Hub this Saturday afternoon, 2:30 real time, and whatever else for the rest of the
1:30
content.
Central Time, which is the
Thank
real
you.
time for you guys.
Yeah, sure.
Who's
And
this week's guest? You know? Do you
and
remember?
no, I don't. No,
Okay.
I just
You guys
show up and pretend to know what I'm talking
show
about.
up on Slab Hub. Rob gives away free books. It's great. I never win them, but he in theory gives them away.
He
It's always like
does.
James Willie or some Canadian that wins them anyways.
Yes. It's true.
Like it's always Rob always has to shit the shit out like in the most expensive way ever, and it's always like, oh, you won 14 coffee cups and 4 comic books. I got to figure out how to get
Right.
these to you.
And now a keychain.
Got a keychain, yeah.
And Sunday, Mark and myself, he still keeps sending me a video, so I'll keep putting it together. But 2 cool guys, 2 hot picks happens this Sunday, and I got to be honest, people still check it out. Like I still get decent views, so I guess people are interested to see, you know,
How
what we're
wrong
going to
you
be.
were.
Yeah, like how wrong we were. I got to admit, I was wrong about that Spider-Man suit and certain things, but I was probably wrong about you know, House of Slaughter. You know, at least the first issue.
Yeah.
But
That's what it amuses me about every video of that type that comes out. It's like, you're my most anticipated books of the week. I'm like,
that's why we just do one.
I think
That
it's
was,
funny. I think it's great. It's just kind
yeah.
of like, you know.
And but the thing that the one thing I take pride in about that show is every so often there's just a cover that just takes my breath away,
Yeah.
and that's the one I talk about.
That's nice.
And
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with a cover. You can't go
It's
wrong
true.
with a cover. And yeah, I hope to get some mystery boxes down the pipe sometime, to start doing mystery boxes on Mondays again. And you know, I miss those Spider-Man booths, those big ones. I miss the Superior boxes. It's been a while.
He claimed he was going to do one final one, but I got a feeling that's never going to happen because that was a while ago. I did almost get him narrowed down to be on a guest on my channel for some point, because he's got a new book coming out that he wrote.
Really?
And so yeah, JPG. So I think I have to hit him up. I think he actually will probably stick to that, and then I'll berate him incessantly about why he abandoned YouTube and all his loyal followers there. No, it's
yeah. He pumped out a lot of fantastic product in a short amount of time, and timing is everything.
Well, Adrian Panda Awesome, who was on here last week, is like, yeah, he helped a lot of people get through COVID with it, like 4 to 5, like a couple days a week, and it was a good way to hang out. And
like there was a handful that didn't necessarily live up to the past boxes. A lot of people just like panned on it, like, look, like it's supposed to be fun here, everybody.
Yeah.
I get that you're spending.
I get that too, but at the $250 price point,
and the thing is now, what's $250 now?
I know that's the sad thing of it all,
right?
Like, and I will never complain because I have gotten insane value out of the boxes. I've gotten very lucky. I know
the hits are home runs.
Yeah,
and sometimes some of those hits are grand slams.
Yeah, and I've gotten multiple grand slams. So
like I know that multi-sign book you got that time. It's just like,
And the funny thing is, I had never ever won a 2.0 box. I never won a GP out of one of these ever, and I'm one of the few I know that has not. Everyone else, they're all around me.
I only ever participated in that once, and I just thought it was just so expensive to get it to ship to Canada. And then I realized, I have a mailbox down there. So
I bought a bunch of them, obviously, but still,
in the end, the frequency that the superior boxes were coming out with,
they got every two.
I thought, well, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot with those monthly boxes, because people are just going to hold out till the big granddaddy comes out and hope to get one of the GPs out of that, because there was a lot.
There was a ton. I mean, there was
a lot.
For a while, when he ramped it up in like a weird way, where it's just like it seemed like superior box like every other week. Not really.
It would seem to be like, okay, every holiday, 4th of July, and now Labor Day, and then the Halloween box, and
I mean, they're
Christmas
going.
box,
He's going crazier on Whatnot. I think literally they have somebody selling books on there 24/7 now. So
really,
he's got employees that just kind of like I get notifications on my phone, when Whatnot sellers go live, and like I swear, like that Spider-Man booth went live at like 2 a.m. last night. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? So, but I mean, you also get a ton of notifications from them. Okay, and what I have coming up real quick tomorrow on Eddie's channel, Old Man Collectibles, Cranky Comic Chat, that drops at 9 p.m. Central Time, so 10 Eastern. You guys figure out the rest of whatever the fuck time zone you're in. Feel free to jump in. It's another open chat for everybody. So if you're around, you want to dive on in, look up Old Man Collectibles on YouTube. Give him a follow. He's a good guy. He's cranky than me sometimes, and he and I bitch to each other quite a bit. But yeah, it's a fun open hangout. So come down to that. Wednesday, new comic book review, as always. Thursday, I've got a new segment coming out that's kind of irregular, but it's called I think I called it like weird things Mike makes me read. I've got a buddy that just once in a while sends me weird things to review. And he sent me something weird to review, and it's dropping on Thursday. So it's not going to be a weekly segment. It's just kind of whenever he sends it to me, I'll review it. And like, it's always weird crap. And so that's a new thing dropping on Thursday. But thank you everyone for showing up. Thank you, Chris, for being on here. I appreciate it. And I hope you dig your box. I loved mine. And
it's a lot of fun. The that ASM Larson, that's
dude,
terrific, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Like, this is baller.
Yeah,
and the Magnola, like I loved all of it. Well, 99% of it, but like these, like I got a Magnola Sig, which I've never had, and hell yeah. So,
but yeah, like just the view alone, we can close on this just like that. The view alone.
Yeah, Spider-Man's like reaching for the little Kingpin.
Oh yeah, like I can't even expand on that. I can't even expand that. Let me see that little Fisk.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. Give me a little Wilson. Anyways, that'll do it for us, everybody. Have a good night, and as always, don't be a dick. See ya.